Okay, before we go any further, I want to do a few housekeeping things that we're going to need to do through the course. And I want to get them done, sort of the pre-work done now. So to start with, what I want to do is I want to set up the sidebars. I know that in the course I'm going to have a sidebar for the shop, and I know that I'm going to have a sidebar for the blog. So very simple to do. We can go to our ultimatum settings, go to our sidebar settings, and then all we want to do is type in shop sidebar. That's what we're going to call the shop sidebar, semicolon, and then blog sidebar. Save that, and now that's defined the sidebars. And then when we create the sidebars in the layout, we're going to choose the appropriate one. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is the menus. We want to make sure that we have a menu defined, and this is going to be used obviously in our header throughout the entire website. So again, all we want to do is want to go to appearance and menus, and we can see there we don't actually have one. And all we need to do is we need to actually create a new menu. So let's call this main menu, just to define it. And we create that menu. And then what I'm going to do is I want to actually first of all automatically add new top level pages, so that when we create a new page it automatically gets added. And I'm going to make this also the ultimatum default menu for the theme. Let's just click save, and then all we're going to do, we're going to select the 4 things that we have here, and we're going to add those to the menu. We can restructure them later on how we want them, but for the moment we'll just leave them as standard. Again, just save that, and there we go, that's the menu created. Okay, so the final thing that I want us to do just at this moment in the housekeeping setup is to ensure that we've got permalinks set to the name of the post. It helps with the SEO later on and things like that. So we need to just go down to our settings, go to permalinks, and all I want us to do is to change from the default to this post name. You can see there default, the post or the item that we post in as part of our product or whatever would have this very strange P equals and a number. Doesn't really make sense, especially for SEO. And some of these other ones where you have date and time, again, don't really work very well. So actually having the post name works very well, and will work well with our SEO. And also if people want to go to a product, it's a lot easier to find. You can create a custom structure, but again, we don't need to do that. So again, all we need to do that, save the changes, and that's now done. So we can now start looking at actually creating the elements of the website. Okay, so what we want to go and do, we want to go and firstly create a default template. So what we need to go is to ultimatum and templates, and what we want to do, let me just remove this message. What we want to do, we want to create a new default template. We have the basic template there, but we're not going to be using that one. So we want to go add new, and let's call this the shop template so we can distinguish between the two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Twitter Bootstrap as my grid framework to make this mobile aware, and I'm going to make it responsive. Okay, I'm going to leave everything else as default just for now. If you wanted to change the template size, you can do that, but I'm going to leave this as the default as I'm not too worried about the size at the moment. And then I'm just going to click save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to make sure it's set as the default. Okay, so now we have a nice default template. Next, we want to look at creating layouts. Okay, so we have a template. The next thing I'm going to do is start creating layouts. Just click on the layouts button. Now, for consistency throughout the site, what I tend to do is create two partial layouts, a header and a footer. So let's start with creating the header and the footer, and then later on we can go to creating the other layouts for the shop. So I want to add a new, and I'm going to call this one header. I'm going to make it a partial layout. Click save. And then insert a row. And I'm going to make this 100% row. Okay, I'm not going to split it up. And then I want to insert that. What I'm going to do next is in there, I'm going to first of all add the ultimatum logo. Okay, just add that in there, and we're going to call this, I do have an image that I'm going to load later, and we can pull that in there. Click save. And then the next thing I'm going to do in the header is I'm going to add the ultimatum menu. So I'll just add that below. And then it's automatically picked up main menu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a bootstrap menu to match the theme. Okay, and I'm just going to save that for now, and then I'm going to save the layout. Go back to my layout screen, and then I'm going to add another new one. I'm going to call this one footer. Again, we're going to make this a partial layout. Click save. I'm going to insert a row. Again, I'm going to make it 100% row in this one. Insert. I'm just going to save the layout. I'm not going to add anything to this one at the moment. Okay. And let's go back and just go to the settings and load up that logo that I have. So we can insert an image. I can select a file. Let's go to where I have them. See, here's my PNG, open. And let's select that one and save changes. If we want to be doubly sure, you can take the same URL there, go back to our templates and our shop layouts and our header. And then in there you can actually add it to the URL. You don't really need to, but we can do that anyway just to be doubly sure, and click save. Save layout. Okay, so there's your first two partial layouts, your header and your footer. Next we'll look at creating the shop pages, blog page and a storefront. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, or we're going to do, is we're going to create the shop pages. So what I want to do is I'm going to add a new layout. This one is going to be called the full, and then let's call this one shop products. Okay, save. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all take our header and put it into the header block. We're going to take our footer, put it into the footer block. And then what we want to do is we want to insert a row. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a main page, and then we're going to have a sidebar. Now I'm going to go with a 6633, and depending on how you like it, you can either have the sidebar on the left or the sidebar on the right. Now I'm going to have the sidebar on the right because I just like it over that side, and I'm going to insert that row. Okay, so you can see now we have two blocks. What I'm going to do with this side is I'm going to go and I'm going to find the ultimatum sidebars, and I'm going to put that in here, and I'm going to choose shop sidebar. You can see the twos in there, but I'm going to choose shop sidebar and click save. You can also see actually that there's a lot of WooCommerce stuff in here that you can actually pull in by hand. So you can go through each one and you can see everything is there: navigation, WooCommerce products, product search, product tag, etc. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take the WordPress default loop and I'm going to add that into my body. I'm going to turn the title off, although I'm not concerned too much about the single post layout in this page, and I'm going to go into the multi, and again I'm going to turn that off so that we don't see that. I'm going to click save, and then up here I'm going to save the layout, and then I'm going to go back to the layout screen. The next thing we need to do is we need to assign layouts. Okay, so we want to click assign layouts. I want to choose the shop products, and then what I'm going to do down here, I'm going to choose product. Okay, click save, and then you can see there that that layout is now assigned to product. Going to click add new again, and this one I'm going to call single product. Okay, click save. Very similar to the previous layout. We're going to pull the header in, we're going to pull the footer in, I'm going to add a row. Now again, you can choose the same layout, you can choose a different layout. I'm just going to choose the same layout again. And then again, I'm going to go down, I'm going to choose the ultimatum sidebar. And then I'm going to make sure it's a save as shop sidebar. And then again, I'm going to choose the ultimatum default loop. And then in this one, I am concerned about the single page post layout, so I'm going to do that. Click save, save the layout again, and then I'm going to go back to layout screen, and then again I'm going to do assign layouts. I'm going to choose single product, and then I'm going to choose product single and click save. That's created my two pages for the products. So next we need to actually go and create my blog and my static front page. In the meantime, we can actually set a default on that. And if we go to pages, we can actually go and edit this. And we can actually choose shop products just like that, just to add the layout, default layout to the actual shop page. If you're interested in what the actual page looks like at the moment, if I go to the blog, you can see here's my default setup, but if I go to the shop, this will be my products. Currently we have no products, so it's saying there's nothing there. But so far you can see we actually have a number of things set up. These are all set to the default at the moment, so we will be changing these later on. We can see there's the account. So that's what it looks like at the moment. We're going to be changing the front page and moving those menus around in a little while. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the static page layout and the blog page layout. So again, we just add new. Let's call this one front page. This is going to be our static page. And again, we're just going to put the header in. And the footer, and then we're going to insert our row, and we're just going to go for 100% row on this one, and then finally we're just going to put our default loop in, turn off our image, and that's going to turn off these here just very quickly, so we have no images in the layout. And then we need to go back actually in the other page and do that as well, but we'll do that in a second. And we click Save Layout. Back to the layout screen. Let's go and edit these very quickly so we can actually remove those whilst we're in the same thought process. So there's our shop products. This is just a cleanup task that we would have done later, but we might as well do them whilst we're here. Let's do that with a. Actually, I need to go back into the other one and do that one on the. On the multi, because this is actually the multi screen. So for all the placeholders. There we go. We could leave that one on. Right, let's go and create the next one, which is the blog layout. Okay, save that one, and again header, footer. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to insert a row, and I'm going to have a 75-25 because I want to have a sidebar on this one. So let's choose the WordPress default layout again, and let me just turn off these bits here. Actually, for these, we'd probably have the image on the left or the right, but we'll leave there was no image at the moment, and the same. Save that on the multi. Okay, and then as I said before, we want to go down here and we want to find the sidebar. We're going to put the sidebar in there, and then we're going to use the blog sidebar for this one. Save the layout, and there we have it. We've now actually created our blog layout and our front page layout. Now very quickly, what we need to do is we need to go and create the pages for those. So we're going to add a new one, and we're going to call this one our blog, and we're going to set the default to be blog layout. Can publish that, and then let's add another one, and we'll call this one home. And for this one, we want to make it our front page. Again, publish that. Okay. So finally, just to set this up, we want to go to our appearance and themes. We want to go to the customize. And what we want to do, we want to set our static front page to be home and our blog page to be blog. What we could do if we wanted our product page to be our front page, then you would just put in there shop to be the static front page. Everything else is fine. If you want to go and change this tagline, spell it right, save and publish again, and there we have it. So if we go back to our front page, here we have our home page, we have our blog, we have our shop, cart, and all that kind of stuff. So next we're going to take a look at doing a little bit of a cleanup. Okay, so let's go and tidy a couple of things up. Firstly, what we probably want to do is we want to go to the menu and start making this sort of more sensible. So first things, we want to have a home. Home would be our first page, and I'd say I'd probably want shop to be my second page. I may want the account to be after my cart and checkout, and then have the blog on the far left. So if we save that, we would know if we looked at the page, have it more sensible. What you can do as well in the layout, you can actually remove this leave a reply on your static page. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now because I'm not too worried. That's something you can go and look at yourselves. Okay, so the next thing we're going to start doing is we're going to start working with WooCommerce. Now, to begin with, what I want us to do is I want to go to Automatum Settings. Now, earlier we installed the plugin for WooCommerce and we've activated it. And what you should have now is this connect and then in there WooCommerce. And what this allows us to do is start to sort of customize our page. So we can see here we can put how many products we want on a page, how many columns per row. So for example, set that to 3. We can hide the product sales tick if we want to, hide the product price, we can hide the add cart button, etc. all the way down here. What I like to do is just to set these up to be around 3, because we like to have about 3 products a line just to make it nice, and it's all evens out if I do this. And again, just set them all. You can change them how you want them. This is just how I kind of set mine up. And there's a few settings in there that, as you can see, and then we just click save to save those settings. Next, if we come across to WooCommerce and go to the settings there, there's a few things you might want to set up in here, like the price, products, details, as you can see, the settings, display, and so on there. You might want to change the size of the images, for example. One thing that you probably do want to change or add is you want to go and you want to set up your PayPal, if you're going to use PayPal, or cash on delivery, or any of these, and it's very simple. Just click the settings button and then you can put in your email for your PayPal and so on. You have other settings up there for shipping and accounts and that. You might want to go through those. The other thing that you might want to look at if you're creating like an Amazon affiliate site, for example, what you might want to do is you might want to set up payments on your account from your web page, and that's very simple to do. You just go to add-ons, and then in here you see lots of add-ons you can download. One of them is Amazon Payments. What you need to do is download that, and then you need to sort out the information that's in there. You have to register for a payment account, and then basically you set it up so that you can actually do the payment through your website. As you can see, there's other things like Stripe, and you can set up UPS and all sorts of stuff you can set up from within your web page by just going to the add-on. You click on it, it takes you to their page, and then you download it. So I'll leave the setup of those to you. You see how you want to do them. It's very personal to you, but you can see that it's very easy just to set those things up. Next, we'll talk about adding products. Okay, so let's add a few products to our WooCommerce store. So first we want to add a product, and adding a product is very simple. We just add the product name, bare text, and then the type of product. So we can have this as simple, we can have it grouped, we can have affiliate, external, variable. We can say whether it's a virtual product, if it's a downloadable product, then we put price and then sale price. You can even schedule, and then you can put things like the inventory, shipping, and extra attributes. So let's just very quickly set something up basic. So the first thing I want to show you is how to set up an affiliate, and I have an Amazon affiliate site here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the link for this. So we choose that it's going to be an affiliate product. We put in the link. We can go and get the description from there quickly, and then it's going to be our title, and then the description. We can see that the price is $45.99. I believe, was it the original price was $79.99. Okay, and then that's it. We can click publish, and that's our affiliate link done. If we want, we can actually add an image to this. All we need to do is just add a media, upload a file, and there you go. Again, we can, if we just put that there, update. What we can also do, we can set the featured image down here, and we just choose that. Okay, update again. If we now view the product, we can actually take a look at it. And this is what it looks like on our single page view. If we go to our shop, we can see there a nice product image, and it's just one. So as I say again, if I click it, then it comes back to this. We can see the price crossed out, the new price, and you can click buy it now, and that will go off to your affiliate link, and then if they purchased it, that would be a purchase on your affiliate link. What I'm now going to do is go off and I'm going to insert a couple more, and then you can see what it looks like once I've done that. Okay, so you can see that I've now added a couple more products. These products I've entered as if they were products that I have in my inventory, and you can see that I've just chosen a simple product and then just filled out a few bit of details. As I say, you can always fill out more when you create your own page, but for example's sake, this is just a very simple overview. If I was to look at my page again now, and I was to go to the shop, we can see I have the 3 items here, and we have our sorting and low to high and newness and so on. So it's all set out nicely in that view, and then whenever I select the product, it goes off to my single page. So very, very nice. And next, if you want to see about adding a cart, then we don't have the cart. Well, if we have the cart on the link where you see you can add to the cart, and if I look at my cart, we can see that it's there. All works very nice together. Proceed to checkout. If you set up your payment, then you can obviously pay. But the next thing we're going to do, we're going to quickly set up our sidebar for the shop. Okay then guys, let's start to put some finishing touches to this site now. The first thing in that sort of line of business is to go and create the sidebars. It's very simple to do. All we need to do, we need to go to Appearance and Widgets, and there we can see both our shop sidebar and our blog sidebar. Now for our shop sidebar, what we probably want to do is start adding some WooCommerce things, like for example the cart. Next we might want to add I don't know if you want to add the product search. Maybe we'll add a product search, allow you to search on products. Really is down to what you want to have in your shop sidebar. We might want to have some recent reviews, recently reviewed, maybe our top rated products. Again, as I say, it's down to you what you really want in that sidebar. So that gives you an example of setting that one up. Just minimize that completely. And then in our blog sidebar, we might want to have categories. We might want to have recent posts. So it's that simple. If we now look at our page, if we go to our shop, we can see now that we have our sidebar. If we had something to the cart, we can see that that goes into the cart on our right. We can do a product search if we wanted to, and there's our top rated products, and we only have 3, so it's showing the 3 that's there. And again, if we go to our blog, we can see that we actually have now our blog sidebar. So it's that simple to go and start tidying up, add your sidebar. As I say, for your shop, you might want to add whatever you want as far as WooCommerce goes, and all the rest deals and handles itself. Okay, so one thing you might want to add to your page is you might want to have a contact us, and we can do that by using the forms, ether forms within our Automaton theme. So they come from the Automaton theme website. You install it, and then we just need to set it up. So I won't put these in just yet. In my previous course I showed you how to do this, and you can set up a capture key. You did the reCAPTCHA key through signing up with someone like Google. But what we want to do, we want to create a new form, and we just want to contact us. And then what we want to do, we just want to add the widgets that we need for that. So we can have, for example, so we might want to choose a email address, for example. And we'll leave it as email, and we can say send a copy of this email to the email address that we're going to actually give as part of this form setup. Click OK, and then we might want to add another widget, and maybe we'll have a text input, which could be our title for the email. Accept that, and then we might want to reorder these and then add a text area. Body. So that's really our form, and then all we need to do now is just need to set up an email address. And then we can go through and we can obviously set up confirmation, set up the button text, and so on. So there we've got our short code for the form, which we're going to need in a minute, so we'll take a copy of that. So that's our form setup. We just publish that, and then all we need to do is go to our pages. I want to add a new page, contact us, and then all I'm going to do is put the short code for the form in there, go publish that, go to our web page, go to new contact us, and there we have it, our email contact us. As I say, you'd want to add a captcha in there, and to do that you just go to Google or somewhere similar, and then you would register for a captcha key, and then all you would do is in your form you'd edit it, and then you just add a reCAPTCHA key. There we go. And that's it, that's simple. So guys, that is how you would add a contact us page to your shop.